That's right, guys. It's your favorite pickleologist, John Barbie from Tip Top Candy Company, and I'm here with another video on how to make dill pickles. This is a phenomenal, fun, yet very simple recipe that I teach at my pickle party classes. Before we get into the pickling, though, what we're going to do is I'm going to go over each ingredient. I'm going to go over the vegetables, the herbs, the spices, the vinegars, and I'm going to tell you guys all the little tricks that you need to know. I'm going to tell you what to look for when you're purchasing these items so that you have the highest quality product and your pickles will taste phenomenal and you'll have the best pickles on your block. All the kids will be coming over for a pickle party. So if you're ready to get into this, let's get into it. The first ingredient that we're going to talk about when it comes to making pickles are cucumbers. If you did not know that pickles were made out of cucumbers, well, now you know. And right here I have a sample of, or examples of the only two types of pickles that you want to use for pickling. This one right here is a Kirby cucumber, or other, aka the pickling cucumber. Anywhere in the Western world, or the Western Hemisphere, we're using this pickle to make pickles. It has a dark green stem end. It has a very light green, almost yellow flower end. And it has all these little bumps and spots on it. And the yellow or light green lines kind of blend in towards the middle with the dark green lines. Okay, that is a Kirby cucumber. This one right here is a Persian cucumber. So anywhere in the Eastern Hemisphere, they're using this one. Once again, it has a dark green stem end, and it has a light green, not quite as yellow, flower end. And there's more lines going across the cucumber than there are the spots right here. So these are the only two cucumbers you want to use when making pickles. The next ingredient that we have up is the dill. We are making dill pickles. You can't make dill pickles without dill. And right here I have two types of dill. One is a short-haired dill. Okay. We also have a long, this is like a medium-haired dill. There's also long-haired dill. I don't have a sample of that because when I went to buy the dill, they didn't have it. So don't get mad at me. You also want to make sure that all the leaves and the whole stem is nice and dark green. You don't want to see any black tips on the leaves. If the dill is old, it will turn almost like a yellowish color, but you could see these are really nice green, beautiful, and ready to use. The next two ingredients are salt and sugar. Can't make dill pickles or any pickles without salt and sugar. And this is our salt. Okay, it's, if you could see, it's a coarse ground kosher salt. Beautiful. It doesn't matter what brand you use. You just want to make sure it's coarse ground, and you want to make sure that it is kosher. It's lower in sodium compared to using that canning and pickling salt box. That's way high in sodium. You don't need all that. And you also don't want to use just plain regular table salt. That's not for pickling. That is for seasoning your food when you fail to season it the time when you're supposed to season it. So salt, you want to use kosher, coarse ground. Try not to use any of your fancy Himalayan pink salts, any of your expensive salts that you bought at the expensive salt store. That's just a waste of money. Kosher salt, coarse ground. Also a sugar, this is just a white sugar. This is a Florida cane sugar, Florida cane sugar brand. You can use coconut sugar, you can use brown sugar, you can use monk fruit if you're trying to cut sugar out, but try not to use stevia. Stevia turns flavor when you add it with acid. It's not really that good. Don't use any like fake sweeteners, like your Sweet and Lows, or that's just gross, bad for you. But if you're going to use sugar, definitely use pure sugar. But if you want to use stuff like honey, you can. Anything natural, agave nectar, that's what I recommend. Okay. The next several ingredients are our dry spices, and we have some garlic here. This is dehydrated garlic. It's already cut for you. It's already chopped for you. It tastes very garlicky. It's not going to turn colors on you if you're using regular whole garlic. That might change colors. They might turn blue, green, or yellow or brown. But these won't change color. They have a great consistent garlic flavor. You definitely need garlic if you're making dill pickles, right? We also have, since we have salt, we definitely need pepper. These are just some peppercorns. We're not going to use grated pepper or pepper grounds. We're going to use the peppercorns. That just gives a nice consistent flavor. We also have some fennel. This is a recipe that I wrote, and it's supposed to go on a Cuban sandwich. So if you want dill pickles to go on a Cuban sandwich, you need the flavors to match all the meats, and fennel definitely matches the meat. This is a nice sweet seed. It tastes like black licorice, and it's what gives Italian sausage that sweet flavor. Okay, the next two ingredients we have are vinegars. So I have a white vinegar here, and I have an apple cider vinegar. Now, the two things you want to look for when purchasing vinegar, one is the acidity amount. Every jar of vinegar that you buy at the store will have a percentage of acidity somewhere on its label. So you want to look for a vinegar that has a 5% acidity. A lot of times when you're shopping, you could find the apple cider as a 5, and sometimes the white vinegar will be a 4% acidity. That's fine. You can mix the 4 and the 5, and you'll have the right amount of acid in your pickles. But you want to make sure at least one of your vinegars has a 5% acidity. Another thing you want to look for are keywords like the word pure. You also want to find the word all natural or organic. Or if it doesn't say any of those, it might say with the mother. If it has the mother in it, then you know it's definitely an organic vinegar. This one definitely has the mother in it. You can see it floating in there. If I turn it upside down, you can see the little ball of slime floating in that. That's the mother. You know that this vinegar was an all-natural, pure vinegar, and that's what you want to look for. Don't throw away your vinegar if it has slime in it. That's the mother. That's good. That's just a collection of all the leftover bacteria and yeast that was used to make the vinegar. And that's what you want to look for. So those are the ingredients. The only one we're missing on this table is water. I think everyone has that in their house. Whether you get it from the sink, the bathtub, please don't get it from your toilet, but you have it. You don't have to buy bottles of it. It comes already in your house. So those are the ingredients. Let's go ahead and start pickling. All right, guys. So we got all of our ingredients here, all ready to go. And let's start by processing your cucumber. So you definitely want to, you don't want to use the stem. So we're just going to trim off a little part of the stem, you know, just a little bit, just to get that stem off of there. We're going to throw that away, right? You also have the flower end. So you want to cut a good piece of the flower end off. You want to cut it to where, right where that yellow and that green kind of meet. You want to cut that piece off, and the reason why is there's like a buildup of chemical from the flour that actually lives in this little piece of the cucumber. and that chemical from the flour is going to make this pickle a soggy cucumber. So we want to get rid of this. You don't have to throw this away. Put that in your vodka. Throw that in your gin, and that way you can make, you know, cucumber flavored gin and vodka. And of course, you know, if you want to cut these into spears, you can. You can cut these into little fun pieces. You could cut these into reams or slices or chips. You could cut them however, which way you want. You can leave them whole if you want. But those are the different ways you can cut them. And what we're going to do is we're going to put these in our containers. Right in our container. And you can see I already have some cut. This container is already full. So we're going to just go ahead and use these. And we'll just kind of push these to the side. And this is the ones we're going to make. So we're going to make, like I said, we're making dill pickles. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with, of course, our garlic. Okay, we're going to have our dill pickles in our container. And this is just a little 24-ounce container. You can use whatever container you want. But the key to this is less is best. So we're not going to like overpower our cucumbers with a whole lot of spices. So, but I am a Cuban Sicilian. I do like garlic. So I'm going to put 1 full teaspoon right into the container. Just like that. That's our garlic. We also have our fennel and our black pepper. So we're going to go right to the 1/4 teaspoon. Okay. 1/4 teaspoon. Less is best. So we're just going to put a small amount of fennel. And you can just put a small amount of black pepper. There's about, what, 10, 20, 15 little peppercorns. That's what we're going to do. Just like small amounts. And then what you want to do is you want to smell this. Oh, man, that smells good, man. So it's starting to smell like a dill pickle. That's great. The only thing that's missing is the dill. So I've got some dill here. I'm gonna reach for this little branch right here. This is the short-haired dill. I'm gonna grab the top of this. I'm gonna use that piece. I'll put the rest of it back, and I'm just going to break it up. I'm not gonna be nice to it. I'm just gonna rip it and call it names. You're an ugly dill, whatever. And we're gonna kind of shake that around, and we're gonna give this a smell. Do we like the way it smells? Does it smell the way we want it to taste? That's the question. I'm smelling this, and I don't think it has enough dill. So I'm going to grab this other piece of dill. I'm going to grab that piece, and I'm going to add this piece to it. Okay, and I'm like stem and all. I'm not going to pick the leaves off. I'm going to kind of pinch it and crush it with my fingers. Throw it in there. Make sure all of it gets in there. We're going to shake that around, and then we're going to give this another smell test. Oh yeah, that's where it's at. That's starting to smell exactly the way I want it to taste. Remember, if it doesn't smell like you want it to taste right now, there's no miracle in your refrigerator that's going to happen. So you want it to get it to smell the way you want it to taste. If it honestly, it smells like it needs a little bit more garlic. I'm going to put another maybe 1/4 teaspoon in there, and maybe a couple, 1 or 2 or 3 more peppercorns. Oh, that smells perfect. Smell that. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're just going to put the lid on it for now. And we're just going to shake it around, and we're going to put it to the side. Okay, because we're done with that part of the dill pickle. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work on our brine. Now this is the most important aspect of the pickle, the brine is. Because without the brine, you're just eating a what? A raw cucumber. Exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually measure this out. We have a measuring cup here. This is, it's a 1 cup measuring cup. It has 8 ounces on it, right? If you wondered how many ounces in a cup, there's 8. So what we're going to do is half of it is going to be water. So I have a little bottle of water right here. And we're going to fill this up 4 ounces, okay? And you notice how I'm leaving the cup on the table. I'm not sitting here trying to measure it like this because I can't hold the cup straight. You know what can hold it straight? is my cutting board. So I'm going to leave it right there on the cutting board, and I can see clearly that I'm at 4 ounces. So we're done with that. Then we're going to move to our white vinegar. So we want 2 ounces of the white vinegar. And we're going to pour this in until we hit the 6. Okay? And it doesn't have to be in this order. You can start with the apple cider vinegar if you want. But the next one is the apple cider. We want 2 ounces of that. So we're going to do 2 ounces of that, and we have 8 ounces of the brine. The brine is half vinegar, half water. And when you're done with it, after I give it a little stir, it kind of looks like a, I don't know, a 7-hour-old scotch on the rocks. Yes, that's exactly what it looks like. The ice is melted, it's watered down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add our salt and our sugar. So for every 1 cup, we need 1 tablespoon of the salt sugar. And it doesn't have to be just 1 tablespoon of each, it's 1 tablespoon total. So we're going to split this up into 3 teaspoons. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of kosher coarse ground salt. And then we're going to do 1 teaspoon of pure Florida cane sugar. And that's it. And we're going to get our little stick and we're going to stir this up. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to dissolve as much of the salt and sugar as possible. Chances are you won't. That's fine. Don't worry about it. And then once you get most of it dissolved, you want to take a little sip. Is it what we want? Is it tasty? Is it salty? Is it sweet? You got that sweet apple cider vinegar plus that nice salt. The sugar really balances out. That's exactly what we want. So now it's time to combine everything. And what we're going to do is we're going to pour most of this into the container. There's a little bit of salt and sugar on the bottom. We're going to give that a little swirl and dump it right back in. Now, if there's a little bit of salt and sugar like left in your cup, you can easily just pour a little bit more brine back in your cup, swirl it around, and get it all out. So that way, boom, it's all gone. All right? And we're going to put this lid back on. This is a very important part of the deal here. You want this lid on tight because we're going to give it a shake. We're just going to shake it up. We're going to make sure, we're going to look on the bottom here. We're going to make sure all the salt and sugar is dissolved. And I'm looking right now, and it is. I promise you. And then that's it. What? Yes, that's it. Well, yes, that's it. That's how easy it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in our refrigerator. We're going to leave it in our refrigerator for 3 to 4 days. And we're not going to put it in a very cold part of our fridge. I don't know about your fridge. I've never been to your house. I don't know how your fridge works. But I know that my fridge, on that top shelf all the way in the back, this is going to freeze. Once this defrosts, it's ruined. It's mushy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it on the bottom shelf close to the door. And every morning when I open my refrigerator to get my coffee creamer out, and I'm going to see this, I'm going to give it a little shake, I'm going to say hi to it, I'm going to say it's a pretty pickle, and within 3 or 4 days, I'm going to open it up and take a bite. And if it tastes like cucumber, it's not a pickle. So you got to let it go another day. Now, I know that some of you out there are like, man, I got to wait 3 or 4 days. What? I understand it's a long time. So what you can do is you leave this on your counter for 24 hours, okay? And it's okay. You can leave it out on your counter for 24 hours. We did the, made sure all our vinegar was 5% so that the acid level on this is low enough to where no bacteria is going to grow in it, and you can leave it out on your counter for 24 hours. You leave it on your counter for 24 hours, and after that, it should be pickled. Go ahead and stick it in the refrigerator, get it nice and cold, and when it's done, take it out, start eating pickles. It's going to be phenomenal. So there you go, dill pickles. And if you like this recipe and you want to learn a little bit more, go ahead and sign up for my pickle party classes. I have several classes around the Tampa Bay area, including St. Pete, Dunedin, Plant City. Sign up. The link is in the description. And if you want to see any more videos like this, leave comment of like what vegetables you want me to pickle, or leave me a comment on what kind of brine you want to see. You want to see a red wine vinegar brine? You want to see a beer brine, a whiskey brine? We've got season coming up, Oktoberfest beers, pumpkin beers. Those could be great brines. So, like I said, leave the message in the comment, and you'll see some more videos like this soon.